Coors Light, Whiskey Round Table. Oh, Greg, Karen, and the Whiskey Wizard talking facts and tastings. They've got you covered. Whiskey Round Table. Oh.
Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts,
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar, and tonight we have two guests at the table, Stephen Leskovic and Rob Richter. Of course, Rob's been a guest on the show one other time, right?
I have, yeah.
Yes, he was our guest during the Canadian Whiskey Review night.
I see he's wearing a Canadian shirt today.
He's got his yes.
good flannel
Got his
on.
good flannel. That's it.
A.
Wore my church clothes.
You wear your church clothes.
Where's your toque?
Hey, I got a cheap tree I need you to chop. But anyway, so Steve's a new friend, and he's a bourbon whiskey guy and cigar guy, and so I told him if you don't come and do the show, then I know where you live, so we're gonna.
You don't yet, but fire pits. We'll just call me the neophyte.
There you go.
To the show.
So and then Rob's been here on the show as well, and he's done a lot of audience stuff as well. So
And I know Patrick is watching on his phone from the clubhouse there, so welcome,
Nice.
Patrick.
Nice. I just had a flashback of the last time you were here.
with the
You were
Trump
back
out.
there.
You had the
your
Trump
ba-
out with the banana. I'll show you the picture
What
after
banana?
the show.
Looking forward to that.
It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
I'm not sure what you guys are talking about.
It wasn't me.
The boot.
It was, oh
No,
my goodness. It was what?
It was a Halloween show.
It was Halloween. It's been that long?
Yeah.
Was that the Halloween show?
It was well, why do
Oh,
you think he was dressed as a banana?
Yeah, I don't come as a banana.
I
all
guess
the
you're
time.
right because Mike and Wendy were in town, and that's right. Wow. Well, I lost 3 months of my life, so
Pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So anyway,
Too funny.
it was fun.
So, yeah, this night kind of got away from me. I can't
We
believe
did,
we're
yeah. I
already,
know.
like, live and everything just kind of hit
It
real
did.
fast.
It went
So,
very far.
fart?
Far.
Hey, a good fart goes far. Just so you know.
Yes.
It'll blow your mind. You'll forget where you are, too.
I told you what I ate for dinner, right?
Yeah, right. Too funny.
All of a sudden, everybody moves to that side.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
That's what I was saying the
Unbelievable.
other day. My ass. I ate a bunch of grain cereal. I ate like 2 bowls of it, and about 6 hours later, my ass was slinging mud like a truck pull.
My brother had the flu yesterday. It was kind of like that for him. He
Yeah,
said, "What are you doing in there?" Says his wife. "Don't come in here. I got to clean."
that's it.
It reminds me of that Saturday Night Live commercial for colon blow.
Cold blood.
Remember that?
Yes.
Well, so far it has been kind of a shitty conversation. So we can move on a little bit there.
Yes, yes. So, on a
All right,
lighter
back to the
front
show,
tonight,
please.
we also are celebrating birthday for producer Zach here. So, yay, yay.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Zach.
Are you old enough to vote yet?
So, Zach, is
Just turned
this
21.
is this the big 3-0?
It's 30.
Wow.
I'm
Oh my
basically
gosh.
dead.
The warranty, dude. The warranty is expired. You need that extended warranty now.
Gotta get that
At least
extra
5 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
30 years, wow.
I remember my 30th birthday.
No, you
Well,
don't.
I really don't remember my 30th birthday.
You remember the start of it.
Woo! Oofa.
So, hey, this is our, which show?
Fifth show.
Fifth show. Excellent.
2 weeks in a row,
I
he
know,
got that
I know,
right.
I know. He's been studying.
Yeah, but he's out of fingers now on that.
Yeah,
So we'll see what's
I'm
happening.
going to take my sock off next week.
When you hit 21.
We'll get to cigars in a sec. I just want to give a quick shout out to Jordan Slozar at In the Weeds in North Royalton. Sean and I went there for dinner last night, and incredible food, great whiskey selection, great array of handcrafted cocktails, and they're having a bourbon dinner event on the 28th of March, and the Wizard's gonna be there. 5-course meal based on bourbon and Woodford rye.
Right.
There's a cigars and a cigar professional cigar roller there, all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah, they're doing the new. I think they're doing the new Rabbit Hole and Woodford Reserve. There was 3 out of the 5 that I liked. The other 2 I didn't like, but so
Yeah.
I got that on my phone about a week or so ago, that as an invite. If I wanted
So
to.
I'll send it to you guys. We'll put the link. We'll put their link on our Facebook page. But that's March 28th again at 6 o'clock.
What's the-
$75 a ticket.
That's cheap.
A 5-course meal and whiskey and
That's really
cigars and yeah.
You
So
said that's where's that at?
North Royalton.
North
so
Royalton.
We do
okay.
the
in
big
my
one.
neck of the woods.
We do the big one out in Vermilion every year. It's $125 or $150 a person. Me and Dave.
Who's we? I was gonna say.
Yeah, me, Dave. Yeah.
I'm looking at you like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
involved, but I don't think you're involved.
We were talking about that Wednesday.
Yeah.
We were
Right.
talking about that Wednesday. But that's a great
Good,
gig.
was
for
a
sure.
good time there at our sponsor, Royal Havana Cigars, and
We
great time.
hung
Great
out
time.
with Matt Souza.
Matt Souza. Yeah.
And if I'd like,
Is Matt
if I could
watching?
if I could smoke cigars, and it would have been such a great evening.
Yeah, I know. At least you got to
but
smell them.
I can have whiskey, and I like the smell of them. So
But even if you don't,
so-
we're still all friends
that's
in
right.
the lounge.
That's right.
So what do we got on the scroll, real quick? Who's watching today?
What do
I know
we got
we-
on the scroll?
I know we got Jen there.
We got
oh,
Jennifer
we got a lot
Boggs
of people
is
now.
back.
Okay.
We got Phil Weaver, who is a cabinet
Phil-
maker
Phil.
extraordinaire.
Yes,
man, Phil.
master craftsman woodworker.
We got
Phil, I apologize. The dog
Derek
part,
is
part
watching.
Part of the corner cabinet. But anyway, never mind.
Freezy 545, is that somebody new? Maybe. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Duh. How
All
stupid.
right,
Okay.
we got Debo and G
G Money in the house.
Yeah.
Amen.
Whoop, whoop. Jennifer's asking, what's everyone drinking? She just put away some barrel-proof E.H. Taylor and is now working on some Knob Creek Quarter Oak.
Oh,
Interesting
she's
that you
getting
should
heat.
bring up Quarter Oak. Is that like quarter cask or something? Because I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Anyway,
She had a Noble Oak double-barreled rye last weekend. So.
Noble Oak. I have never heard of that.
So real quick before we move on, no Larry today.
No Larry.
So
Where
we
the
can-
hell are you, dickhead?
Hey, we missed you.
That's
are
right
you-
here.
Maybe next time. So,
I don't know Larry, but I was told to
all
say
right,
hello.
Larry.
So I feel like I know Larry already.
So it's Stephen's first time on the show, and we want to be
Yes.
sure to have Stephen, tell us a little bit about your whiskey story, if you will. How'd you get into it? What did you start with, and how's your taste evolved? That kind of stuff.
First thing I ever got hammered on in college was Jameson.
Where'd you go to school?
Franciscan University of Steubenville, Ohio.
All right.
Dean Martin County.
Martin.
Dean
Yes.
Martin's County. It's a town, actually, yes. I graduated with a registered bachelor's degree in nursing. I'm an RN. And there were a whole 16 in our class that graduated of nurses. So it was pretty small. I think 250 for the entire class, and that included locals.
Wow.
So I got out of college, and I thought, ooh, Irish whiskey. So I'm drinking Irish whiskey. Drinking Jamesons. I get Jamesons. I got, you get the Jack Daniels. You get the Jim Beam, the average guy stuff, right? And got married a couple years after that, and it's what we had in the house, and that's what we drank, and moved to some wine and a little bit of beer, right? Divorced, which is okay because, it's the reason she's my ex-wife. And there's several reasons. We can discuss that in the lounge someday.
There you go. There you go.
But Larry, I was living in Pennsylvania, and Larry came out to visit, and I want to make it good. And the only liquor he really drinks is single malt Scotch.
Gotcha.
So he said, "You got to have a bottle." Got it. Fine. I'm divorced. I got no damn money. But I went out and I bought, I think it was a 12-year-old Glenfiddich,
Nice.
or one of those types,
Gotcha.
And ooh. So in the weekend, we polished off the bottle, and we were bemoaning the fact that we were old and didn't do it in one night. But did that, and still stuck with the cheap stuff until child support went away and
All right.
things started getting better, and started moving into some other scotches. And after that, started moving into some bourbons. So, any brown alcohol I'm a fan of at this point. I'm not, Larry, is just he's just about the single malt Scotch. Hates bourbon. He'll do some whiskey. I'm like, nah. You give it to me, I'll drink it. I'm okay.
Plus, one of the bottles how we met was at the Cigar Lounge
Yep.
a couple weeks back, and you have that kit that you brought last year. Doug had all the stuff.
Oh
And
yeah,
he
that was the Glenmorangie.
Right, and he had a Tullamore Dew bottle, and you saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Put the cherry stave in there,
Yeah.
and it really did mellow it out.
Did a nice job on
Did
it.
a nice job.
It's smoother than it was before. And I think Tullamore Dew is just a smooth,
We
for
always
the price
tell-
point, smooth booze anyway.
We always talk about people that are wanting to drink whiskey. They don't really know what they want to get into, but we always recommend an Irish whiskey. Irish whiskey is a
yeah.
good starter.
Yeah.
And it will be soon, Irish Whiskey Month.
Amen.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Right around the corner.
March, that's right.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
So I was just going to say, Steve, what's your favorite Scotch?
I gotta tell you, I just got a bottle of 12-year-old Balvenie. Balvenie,
Okay.
did I say
Yeah.
it right, Wizard?
Yes, you did.
Balvenie. And it poured like nectar, and it was so smooth going
That's
down. It's one of those, be careful drinking it.
Yeah.
And that's another Scotch. If somebody said, "Hey, I want to try Scotch," that would probably be one I would consider. Balvenie 12. That's a good.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I just wrote that life skills course I told you guys about at the lounge.
Sure.
It's a curriculum to teach life skills to young adults, and it's marketed to teachers. And it's finally going to print. So my release party of that, which is going to be somewhere in 6 or 8 weeks from now, looking at the Balvenie 21-year-old for
Gotcha.
that party. So
Nice.
that'll be
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Well,
that's the one.
That's a good life story there.
Yeah.
I said, other than the nursing degree, we could be twins because that's exactly where I flow to.
Yeah.
Same divorce.
Well,
same
you still
money
have
issues,
to,
and
both
then
of you
when
still have to deal with the cheese once in a while, but
yeah. Yeah.
Well, and it's a good. And I got to say, it's a good thing it's divorced now. Unfortunately, the ex-wife has a problem with booze, so couldn't have it in the house. So I wouldn't be able to thoroughly enjoy what I enjoy, which I do responsibly. So it's all good. So there's several reasons she's my ex-wife.
There you go.
Moving on.
Yeah,
my
I
ex-wife has a Greg problem, but anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. My new wife. Not only did I marry way above my pay grade, but I married up. I did well. She is a phenomenal, tolerant
Manager
woman.
at McDonald's.
Well, you know what? I was saying to Karen earlier. There's. I was saying to Karen earlier. My wife has learned the fact that love sometimes is a choice.
What were you going to say, Rob?
I was just you said McDonald's. I was just thinking free Big Macs would be. That's a real,
She gets a Big Mac whenever she wants it.
Too
But bum.
Not saying anything. I'm the only woman here, and I'm trying to hold down the fort.
Nothing
But
to see here. Move along. Move along.
just gotta go to the neighbors for that.
Of course,
Anyway.
Larry is cussing me out under his breath right now for saying stuff like that. He's got all sorts of
Yep. Oh, Larry.
responses. You know, Larry.
That's that. Yeah. You got a new walker. Or
He did. This one's got wheels and green tennis balls.
he left. I know he left early on Wednesday. He was going back to the assisted living to eat his pudding or something. I forget. But anyway,
Jello night?
Jello night. It was Jello night.
No, it was pudding night.
Oh,
pudding. It
pudding.
was okay.
Pudding.
Was Bill Cosby
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Well, Bill Cosby was there, and he was just on until 11 o'clock. So Larry wanted to get over there and shake his hand.
So you're saying that everything was primed for the rest of the
Everything-
evening?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
All right, Dougie.
I told him he should have been here, but you know what? He's not, so he suffers the brunt.
That's it. That's the way it goes. We only invite once. That's it. So, go ahead. I'm sorry. All right, kids, come on now.
No, you're good. I was gonna say, we start talking about what is everyone pre-gaming with, and Rob, you brought a nice. Is this a port cask?
It's a port finish, driftless Glen.
Door pick
It's a store pick.
nice.
out of
Can
Wisconsin.
you pass that over here,
Woodman's
actually?
from the
Absolutely.
grocery store.
I might post game with that.
It's very good.
I'm pre-gaming with a little peerless.
We're not pre-gaming now. We're gaming.
Yeah, we're gaming.
Yes, that's
We're
right.
gaming.
Well, that's true.
And apparently
Good
you're
point.
losing.
Good point.
And that's a nice pour. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very,
Try
very
that out.
good.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
been
man,
trying
I
a few
told
of their
you.
different
Bunch
If
of
you
bottles.
look at
small
that
wine,
color,
sample a
you
lot.
know that's a port finish.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Man,
Price
alive.
point's nice on it, and it's a real smooth. All the bottles I've gotten from them have been real impressive.
Put this over here.
So anyway,
our
that's
kids-
my story. Unless you want to hear about my dogs.
Oh,
Okay.
I did see
Oh.
pictures of them, and they're cute, very cute.
Or Irish Wolfhounds.
No, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
All right, come on, kids, back to the show. Let's get on it. Let's get
All
on it.
right. G Money wants to know, what are you smoking, guys?
I'm smoking a Royal Havana house brand cigar, 770 Maduro, Honduran Ecuadorian.
Okay. Rob?
I have a Gurkha 12-year Cellar Reserve.
And that is a good cigar, and I'm not a fan of Gurkha.
And it's not unraveling.
It's not falling apart.
I know.
Might have something to do with your lips or something.
Oh.
He said it. I didn't say a thing.
I won't tell you what these lips can do.
I'm smoking whatever Greg gave me.
Okay.
That
It's the
is-
Cuban.
That's a Cuban cigar.
Yeah. I don't know the brand, the label, or anything.
No, that's no brand.
It's Cuban.
It's what they roll down there and they sell it on the streets.
That's what I'm smoking. Thank
the
you. It's
streets.
delicious.
Or if there is a street there.
Bought it behind some bodega.
Yeah. So,
Oh no, Jennifer, you said you're snorking a flying pig here. Is that a cigar? A flying pig?
Yeah.
You got a snort noise on that? Sound
No, I
effect
don't. But
machine?
maybe I have to work.
I
on
haven't
it.
seen
I can do that.
I haven't seen a flying pig since college, but anyway. Oh my goodness.
Oh my!
That's the one that jumped out of the window at the frat house.
Did I ever tell you that story?
Not yet.
So my buddy lives around the corner. Him and his wife are ex-military, and I just meet them in a not golf outing, a bowling. We did a bowling thing together, and that's how we met. Come to find out that I know
You know this
all
story.
his friends that he grew up with from where he lived, where I used to have a business. But anyway, long story short, every spring they do a big garage sale throughout the community, right? So I said to Karen, so let's go stop at Matt's. So we go stop at Matt's and we're talking. I really don't know his wife. And so we start talking about food. He likes to cook and smoke food. And I said, well, you know.
How do you roll them in the paper?
So, yeah. So he goes, I said, well, you know, coincidentally, I said, you know, I'm one of the partners with Roll and Smoke, Derek with Roll and Smoke Barbecue, you know, which is very good, by the way. I'm not.
One of our sponsors.
One of our sponsors, exactly. Good guy. So, so she's talking about all the stuff, and she said, we were thinking about doing some kind of family thing here one day. She says, have you ever done a pig? I said, well, not since college, but I can try.
But I'm game.
And she looks right at her husband, looks at me, and says, I can see why you and my husband are friends. And we've been friends ever since. Too funny, but it's a good story.
Talk dirty to me.
That's it. All right, kids, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, Wizard, how's it going?
Well, it was a tough week. I had to deal with a lot of judgmental people.
Did someone criticize you?
Well, not really.
Were you
but-
in court?
No, not really. But I can tell when people are being judgmental just by looking at them.
Yeah.
And, they were. So.
Well, all right. That's that.
That's all you had to say, Negro.
Okay, so
Sounds a little
this
judgmental
is
from both sides.
this
there.
is a whiskey show, and I think we ought to talk about whiskey. What do you
We
think?
should talk about whiskey. How
And
about
what are
if we start off
yeah.
with a little bottle cam?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's do a little bottle cam. Let everybody see what we're trying out tonight. We'll see you in a few seconds
All right,
here.
kids, be right back.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge. What? What? It's time for the bottle cam. I guess they need this. Dadhatium transferium.
Intruder alert.
Goodbye.
All right, so you just know you don't know what you're gonna get with the bottle cam, do you? But I started going to my Whiskey Wizard episode and then realized that
wrong
it
thing.
was time for the bottle cam. So what else could I do but
Hey,
get it here quickly?
a little
so
magic you got going there. It's why we
gotta
call
do
you
it.
the wizard.
All
Gotta do
kids,
it.
Let's get into this.
All right.
Let's get into
what's
this.
going on tonight,
Am
Karen?
I up?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay, so as you said, we are doing Dad's Hat small batch rye tonight. This is, I have not had this one, but when in our travels, Greg and I always check out those out of the way little mom and pop shops and pick up different things that you can't get here in Ohio. And we
Right.
did pick up a Dad's Hat. I think it was a port finish.
It was a port finish.
And that was really good.
It
I
was good.
don't know if we have any on the bar.
No,
Maybe
we shot that a long time ago.
of course we did. But that was my only introduction to Dad's Hat, and that was actually very pleasant. I really liked that, which is probably why I like your Driftless
Yeah.
Glen as well.
A little something from Wisconsin.
Yeah, up north.
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 Chop, chop.
It's just you can't resist.
You
doing
can.
that.
You gotta do it. You gotta
It's
do
all
it.
about the
Hey, you
booze.
gotta-
It's on the
I
boot.
Listen, it's all about the booze.
One great thing about Rob is last time he was up in Canada, he brought me some maple syrup.
That
But
ain't
anyway.
maple syrup there,
That
son.
ain't maple syrup.
All right,
But
go ahead. Come
But
on,
no, so Dad's Hat is from Pennsylvania, and as early as 1810, Pennsylvania's distillers were making over 6 million gallons of rye whiskey annually. And throughout the 1800s, the size and the reputation of Pennsylvania's rye whiskey producers continued to grow.
and we've talked in the past about the Whiskey Rebellion, and that was all about Pennsylvania
It
rye
was
whiskey makers.
all about Pennsylvania. By the end of the 1800s, individual distilleries in PA were making hundreds of thousands and some over 1 million gallons of whiskey per year. And Pennsylvania rye whiskey was prized across the country. And then Prohibition hit. 1920 came, which we all hate that.
Wait, say that again. What happened?
Prohibition came.
Oh my.
Those effers. But the Pennsylvania bootleggers found a way to make a real quick and a poorly blended substitute of rye whiskey. And it was from that, after Prohibition went away, that Pennsylvania rye whiskey, it never really recovered its reputation of being good, because that's what everyone remembered was this bootleg
Right.
product that they made.
Bathtub.
Bad top, right?
Bathtub.
It sounds like
bathtub
Slivovitz.
rye. Yeah.
I love Slivovitz.
Slovenian.
There you go.
Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Oh, because it's acquired taste. But
Yeah, it is.
so for Dad's Hat, the founder, Herman Mahalik, as a kid, he lived above his family's tavern, Mahalik's Family Tavern. And his father and his grandfather, they were huge fans of rye whiskey. And it was because of them and a story that came out about 2006 about rye whiskey that inspired him to open up Mountain Laurel Spirits in 2011 with a friend of his, John Cooper. And they became the first to make Pennsylvania rye whiskey since 1990. Were you going to say something, Lizard?
No,
You sound
no,
like
no.
you got something right there on the top
Well,
of your
it's
tongue.
just,
He's just breathing.
I'm just,
Again?
Is there a particular region
just very excited here.
in Pennsylvania where the
Should
it's
I move
pop-
on?
Well,
is
this-
there a region or is it statewide?
Where-
Or
well, I mean, in the Whiskey Rebellion was Western Pennsylvania. It was where that all took place. You know, we don't want to. Well, we won't go through the whole thing again, but they were getting taxed on the production, and they did. It was the medium of exchange was the whiskey itself. So it wasn't like they had a bunch of money to pay the tax. So it was. That's why it was such a big deal. But this actually is from Bristol,
Bristol.
PA, which is right on the river by Philadelphia, across from
About
from
40
Jersey.
minutes
So,
northeast.
but it's still that original Pennsylvania style, from what I understand. So
That's what they tried to
this was
replicate,
a
yes.
gift from Chris Snyder for Christmas for me. So yeah, he's
gifts are good.
Even though
Yeah.
he's a Steelers fan, we thank you.
We love you.
Yeah, better than a Ravens fan,
There we
Not
go.
much.
but still.
Oh my god, Christopher Britton Snyder, to what do we owe this incredible pleasure?
All right. So, don't even know if he's watching, but I don't know what's going on with him. He hasn't been watching lately, but
He's
Tell
a
him to catch
busy
the
guy.
tell him to catch the
busy
recap.
man.
He's a busy
man.
guy.
Busy guy. Good guy.
But
Okay.
Dad's Hat, they actually were working with the Artisan Distilling Program at Michigan State University to develop this mash. And they tried to, as you said, model it after the traditional Pennsylvania rye. They used grain bill of 80% rye, 15% barley malt, and 5% rye malt.
malted rye and malted barley. Yeah, we just was it the last rye we did on the show. They had the malted rye as well.
That's what you were
yeah.
saying, yeah.
So it's a thing. Maybe that's becoming more common.
Awesome.
So they mash that. It goes under a week-long fermentation process, and then at the end of the week, the mash is ready for the first of 2 distillations. They use a traditional 5-gallon pot still with a more modern side column on it, and they tailor the distribution. I can't talk, and I've only had one whiskey.
You
Distribution
need more.
process to. That's what it is.
So Pellegrino.
Never. Yeah, that's too.
It's like
too
golfing.
little.
You can't just golf without beer. You gotta lubricate that swing.
You don't want to see me golf. That's a scary thing.
Or eat.
Oh, sometimes love is
That
a choice.
certainly doesn't suck.
It really does.
Life is a choice. Love is a choice.
I'm sitting in between here tonight, there, so don't.
I just wrote that, kids. I'm here all night.
Unfortunately, he might be sleeping on the porch, but he'll be here all night. So, Dad's Hat was named because Herman Mihalik remembers his dad picking out a hat every day before leaving the house. And his favorite hats were Stetson fedoras. So, actually, if you look at the bottle, it has one of those Stetson fedoras on there. And here is a picture of Herman wearing one of his father's hats.
Yeah,
So, after
nice.
his father passed, he kept the hats, and he still wears them to this day. So
Nice.
That's a nice hat.
it is a
My
very
grandfather
nice hat.
was a hat guy, but nobody after that generation. Really.
No.
I
That-
never was a hat guy.
I love-
You never walked out of the house without a hat.
Well,
back
except now it's the backward ball cap. But
Well, no.
as far as the classic
But I have the
hat,
Stetson and
the
a
dress
lot of
hat.
hats similar to that because,
Yeah.
well, if I don't in the summer, I tend to burn.
Well,
them.
I know nothing about that.
Yeah, that's a
What did you call us? You called them the follically challenged?
Follically challenged. He needs to finish it up.
yeah. We meet here on
I don't
Fridays.
care about losing
It's
my
a
hair.
thing.
That doesn't bother me.
Hi, my name's Rob, and I used to have hair.
When these two met up with this and I had that island of hair, I just shaved it all.
There you go.
Yeah,
I got no way.
I had the curls and all the activator I used back in the day. Probably
Soul
didn't
Glow?
serve me
What
well.
did you have?
Hey,
Soul glow.
you gotta keep them curls tight, otherwise they get away from you.
I lost my hair late in life.
Mine fell out in college. I was like, I was
once
concerned
Once
if I
I
was
got
doing
married,
too
I
much.
started losing my hair. True story.
That's when I started going
You
gray.
didn't have hair when I met you.
That's not true.
And then I had kids and it got worse.
I'm pulling a picture of the night we met,
Amen.
and I will.
Sorry, try again.
Okay, all right.
Anyway,
So-
back to Dad's hat. So yes,
Yeah.
the Stetson fedoras, they were actually made in Philadelphia, which we just said is
Yeah.
Squirrel.
is
That's
very
right.
close to the distillery. So anyway, what we're drinking is the small batch, which is a 90 proof
Okay.
Yeah.
rye whiskey. It's barrel aged for 6 months in charred new oak quarter casks. So Rob and I were like, quarter casks? What are quarter casks? But they are exactly what they sound like. They're 1/4 the size of traditional
Small casks.
American 52-gallon barrels. And the whole purpose of this means that the increase in the surface area of the charred oak relative to the volume of
Yes.
whiskey accelerates the aging process. So
That
basically,
makes sense.
the higher the content between the whiskey and the cask well, the more flavor.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I wonder if they rotate them in the barrel house. It'd be easier to move around there.
Well, yeah. They don't tell us that, do they?
Not that I
If they
found, but
do-
they
Yeah,
might
if they do
somewhere.
anything else with, to 6 months, not a lot of aging.
No.
But if
But
you got
that's
that,
it.
but if
They
you got
don't-
that quarter
but if
cask,
is it? Well, they don't call it
More-
straight rye, so I guess I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. That's
I didn't
all
see
I
that
pulled
on
up.
the label. Well, we did get a good close look at it during the bottle count.
We did.
We'll probably get another look later, but
We did.
anyway.
So, and I was saying before, we had done on one of the shows, you had one of the sticks that ages it.
Yeah, the whiskey.
Yeah, that
Aging
was
kit.
really, really cool.
That's what I was trying to tell you
the
about.
stage.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah, you were
liked
telling me.
that.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
works.
So what
It
you're
really
saying
works.
is everything's better with more wood contact.
Well,
Yes.
I mean,
That's
that's
what I
kind of how
meant.
I see things. But
Honey,
In case my wife's watching.
It needs to be hardwood. though.
On that note,
So the-
Well,
it's time to try.
yes, here we
This-
go.
All
All
right,
right.
so,
So
Steve,
we're gonna go.
I
And
will be glad to.
We're gonna hand these out, and we're gonna do our, tasting, and it's only, half an hour into the show,
Thank
and
you.
we're getting to the tasting. It's good.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Alrighty then.
Of course, we always start with the nosing,
Yes, we do.
and then at the end, we're gonna do our score, and then
I'm sorry, Derek just said something that made me laugh.
Derek
and
looked
we
at
have a
us.
0 to 5
0 to
scoring
5.
system, and 5 is like the best you've ever had, you could ever imagine, whereas a 4 is like, I have to have that at home, I need to have that at all times, and so we kind of move on from there. So, but let's start with the nose, shall we? Let's see what we get on this. Ooh,
I use my cigar hand. All I smell is cigar. I gotta
Well,
change
it's
it.
funny
It is
because
a
I
little
said I almost
smoky.
smell smoke.
that's
Okay,
what I was
so
just
I'm
gonna
not
say.
off
It's
that.
a little smoky. That's
I get smoke. I get like a tropical fruit, maybe.
definitely rye. There's no
You get-
no surprise there, but
It's got a smoke to it. It really does.
We always say it goes without saying that there's oak there.
Yeah,
But-
oak, vanilla.
Oak
but
and
this,
vanilla for
this
me,
is
very-
such a prominent, distinct oak
Yes,
smell
yes.
to it.
it's
Like-
kind of like a fresh oak, like a clean
I
But
would
good-
agree. It's
young wood.
It tastes like young wood. Young.
Dear Lord.
And
Producer's sitting over there, so maybe
Yeah,
he's paying attention.
At least someone is.
Yeah.
Thank God for Zach.
Did you want to try this
After the show.
after?
I'm good after.
Okay. All right.
He's too busy gathering notes on how he's going to tear us
I'm
apart.
not sure. I would say I get some some almond, and I would almost like a little bit of dill, like a dill pickle kind of.
I don't get
Ooh,
that.
I don't get the dill.
So
I
I think
love dill.
the smoke in the wood is kind of overwhelming.
I think I'm picking up some, maybe just the tiniest hint of black cherry. Anybody else getting some
Yeah,
of that?
there's a little
Like
sure.
a
I don't-
dark
yeah,
fruit kind
get
of.
on
Yeah,
a hint of
dark
fruit
fruit.
in there for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Might not
back
be
to
cherry, but
Which
yeah.
we
back
know
to, like,
must be from the barrel.
Apricot,
Has to come
peach
from the
kind of
barrel. Yeah.
smell on my side.
Stone
But,
fruit. You
Yeah.
get the stone
Yeah.
fruits.
Maybe, yeah.
So I mean, everybody's palate's different. Everybody's nose is different. Mine's bigger.
But we
than most.
we're usually fairly consistent.
All right. What's the nose, Karen?
So nose, floral and spicy, clean with fresh grass,
Okay.
Oh,
spices and florals. I get the fresh
I'm
grass.
I'm getting the grass
floral.
now that you
Not
say it,
getting
yeah.
floral, But,
Yeah.
but it's very pleasant. Like I don't.
It-
There's nothing off
like
or
a
particular.
real nice-
like a dry grass right before harvest kind of there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
enticing.
Kinda
Very
dirty.
makes me want to do the next thing, which is taste.
It's not slapping you in the face, though,
Right.
when you smell it.
All right, kids. Let's give it a taste.
Let's try this. Oh.
That changed completely.
I
Oh.
got almost like
That's what's great about these glasses.
Yeah.
I almost get like
What is that?
almost like sourdough, like a breaking bread, like
I get a little honey on the finish.
Mm-hmm.
right in the middle
What
of
is
that.
that?
Actually, now I'm getting some of the peachy types thing going. Apricot,
And-
more apricot
yes.
than peach.
Apricot.
Apricot.
That's what I'm getting a lot
That's
of.
what I said. That,
There's some apricot in there and like almost like sourdough bread. It's really
Dude, my bread machine make apricot.
well.
bread.
There you go. I mean, rye, I guess, is bready.
I get my aftertaste is all honey. Oh, well, let me rephrase that. It's all honey, and I would say a little, definitely fruit, whether it be apricot or a little dark cherry. on my palate. Now that's what I'm tasting this entire, since. So it's kind of a long
Does anybody
finish.
get a hint of like pine?
Like a
I can
foresty
see
kind of
that.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're walking through the forest, they're kind of
Yeah,
Which you know all about up
Like
there.
gin.
Rob
Yeah,
knows.
it's,
he knows his forest smells. But
I'm,
yeah,
I'm still stuck on the after as being. I get the honey, but I'm getting the after more apricot than even with the sip.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's
agree.
it's just it's hanging on. It's hanging on nicely.
It is. It's a long finish. It really is.
Yeah.
It's nice. Very
yeah,
pleasant.
it is.
Very pleasant.
It's very dry to me.
It is. Well,
But not in a bad way.
no, I hear you.
Like if you have a wine, your cabs are more
Yeah.
dry.
And I'm a big
This to
fan of the
me-
dry too. So
And I do have the dryness. I do get the dryness out of it, but
I do.
Yeah, this would be.
I don't know, Wizard. Do you look at the legs on?
I
do.
think it's got
Like you do
it's
on wine?
relatively quick on the legs. There's not
Yeah.
a lot of cling there, but
Yeah, they're there, but they disappear pretty quick.
Yeah.
They're- It's a little thinner leg.
I to be honest with you, on the long finish, I didn't get it in the drink, so to say, but the longer I'm tasting it, I almost get a little hint of licorice. But that honey and that fruit is there for sure.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It really
it's
is.
a little bit of a honey cough drop in there. Like
Yeah, it's good.
this is pretty
It's-
nice.
It's unique. It's very unique.
I mean, if it's really only aged 6 months, I mean,
A lot of flavor for 6 months.
and a lot
It
of
is.
it's just no young. Doesn't taste young. Like
well,
it
that's
doesn't.
the
Well,
quarter barrel.
Yeah,
Would you
stuff.
say the
so it's
quarter barrel
barrels,
does-
Yeah.
4 times faster.
So maybe it's equivalent of a 4-year straight aging. So that is interesting. So mathematically, it makes sense. I
Yeah,
guess.
Chris Snyder. This is very
Yes,
nice.
very
Thank
nice.
you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you very
Oh.
much.
You know how when you're tasting wine, you suck a little air over it, aerate
Sure,
it? I
sure.
just did that with this, and that's
Oh,
when
yeah.
the licorice popped with me.
I'm telling you,
That's
I
when
got
the anise type flavor.
Well, the
Not a nice ass. Anise.
Oh, not
Those of
anus.
us,
Anus.
for those of us who
Okay.
cook and
That's
bake.
it. Nobody's punching.
I just
anybody's
got a
Starbucks
little.
on this show.
I just
Come on.
my last sip. I just got a little dark chocolate.
Yeah, this
kind of on
isn't.
the
This
finish.
isn't right there. This is a little taint flavor. That's not.
It's a who what?
So sometimes, Steve, when I get some of the different flavors, for whatever reason, and as I swallow, for whatever reason, maybe start breathing a little bit, and then when you pick that up, and all of a sudden it'll bring something.
That's why I was
out.
saying aerating
Yeah.
it over the tongue releases
So,
it there
but-
too. Yeah, same thing.
Very good, very good.
So
Alright,
the
yeah.
notes that I pulled
Oh yeah.
on the palate and the finish. So for the palate, it says it's balanced with cinnamon, dark cherries on the front palate, with
Got the cherries.
tobacco and vanilla on the back.
That must be that smoky flavor there.
I
That's
don't.
by the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get the vanilla, but I definitely get the tobacco. I just compared it with the port finish, and this is a lot more sweet.
Yeah, maybe you could.
Than
I
this.
could see tobacco. Now
Yeah.
that you say that, I wasn't. It was
So how do you get?
our suggestion, maybe, but there was something there that I couldn't quite. put
How do
my
you get
finger on.
tobacco flavor in liquor?
Well, it's just the compounds.
Is that the
You know,
driftless
from
you're
the,
drinking?
mostly from the wood.
The
and
other?
Yeah. This
The
one.
this oh
and
that
how
one
they
there.
break down.
Because I've got driftless
I want
blend of
after
this
the
one.
show. I want to
Yeah,
try
the-
that.
the
I'm
driftless
really
is a
happy
lot
with
sweeter.
this. I'm happy for
Yeah.
my Christmas present. Thank you again, Chris Britton.
Very good.
Finish is notes of dried fruit and black cherry, hints of tobacco, vanilla, and oak. Medium with a spicy oak.
No apricot, huh? Or
No,
licorice.
not,
chocolate.
But that's
not in
everybody's
what I
But everybody's
palate.
palate's different, right?
Everybody's palate's different.
Well, but you know, we've had a lot of consistent runs on the show.
Right.
Tonight we're not really unified on what we're getting out of this, but that's fine. I mean that's the way it goes
And,
sometimes.
and everybody seems to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's
Different
that's
palates
interesting.
are
Everybody's
enjoying
enjoying it and getting something
Right.
right.
Well, and
different out of it.
I'm guessing whiskey's just like wine.
Exactly.
What's the definition of a good wine? Do you like it?
Yep.
Exactly, exactly.
That's right. That's
And
right.
as I tried it again, I get a lot of the grassy notes. So
Yeah,
I think
it's,
that's what's prominent for me.
Yeah, I don't get. I
And
didn't get
I think
any
it's
of
very unique.
that. I didn't get
It's
any
got a
of the
lot
grass.
going on.
No.
Got a lot going on,
Yeah.
and very pleased with
Yeah.
it. And so, before we get into the ratings, should we? Is it time for another ride on the bottle can?
Absolutely, we can.
Okay,
go for
we'll
a
be
ride
back
on the
in
bottle
just
can.
a bit.
Be back, kids.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
Alrighty then, you got a close up at one of our great finds that I take great pride in. It's the See No Evil, Hear No Evil,
yeah.
Speak No Evil, Monkey toilet paper.
Is that just roll holder? Yeah.
So that's what it says. It's hear no evil, see
Oh, I
no
see.
evil, smell no shit. Is what that is.
Yeah, the last monkey's like, ah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but yeah, that was one of those things you see at a garage sale. You're like, yeah, you're coming
Gotta
home
have
with
that.
me.
Them monkeys is coming home with us.
We're ready
I'm gonna
to
make you mine.
move into the scoring, but is it
Okay.
possible for the Whiskey Wizard to have a little more splash of that?
Sure.
More splash of the dad's hat. Yeah,
Wait a minute. What am I?
that's
Yeah.
what you got there.
Oh, never mind. Nothing to see here. Here we go.
Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along.
No wonder I wasn't getting what you guys are
Here,
getting.
here. You want some of that?
Yeah.
More?
So Shauna has joined us, and she said, "Good gift, Chris." Yes, definitely a very, very good gift.
Hey, has Larry
Love
signed
it.
in yet?
No,
Okay.
I no hide nor hair of Larry.
So he might be watching. He might not be on the scroll. He might not know how to. access the
He's
scroll.
old. I wouldn't expect
He's
he would know.
old.
Yeah.
Zach, what are you drinking over there? You got your Hudson?
Give this a try,
Yeah, I
Zach.
just finished up the Hudson. I guess I'm going with some Dad's Head now.
There you go. Hey, you only turned 30 once.
I don't have a hat for you to wear, but I got some dirty.
And we have to have, yeah, because we want to get Zach's score on this.
Who's
too.
underwear?
Zach, you're gonna have to give us your score, but
score
we'll let you
quick.
go. We'll let you go last, so you have a chance to really.
Yeah, you got to
So,
try it out there.
how about we start with Big G? Let's.
You know what? I really enjoyed it. There was. It's very smooth. It's good. I don't like a lot of heat. It doesn't have a ton of heat, and yeah, I'm going to go with the 3.8.
All right. Okay. Very good whiskey roundtable score there.
Why don't we just go around the table? Since we
Yeah.
got such a
Rob, what do you
full
say?
All right,
house.
I like it. You got that deep fruit. I'm gonna go with the 3.25. Not the most.
I like the use of hundreds. There you go.
As we learned last week.
Yeah,
Yes.
3.25, good score. I mean, that's, that's okay. And
Were you going to say something else?
Yeah.
I was
or-
just gonna say, if it was on the bar, I'd drink it. It's enjoyable. Do I have to have it? I have a lot of similar ones, but it's a little on the grassy side for what I'm typical used to.
Gotcha.
okay.
Or no?
No,
That's your palate. That's what.
I don't know.
Everyone looking at me
What
like-
are you used to?
all right.
Be the last time he does this show.
Rob who? What are you talking
Yeah.
Yeah, that isn't what we told you to say.
Yeah.
No, Karen, what do you?
I really enjoy this, and what I enjoy the most about this is its uniqueness.
Yeah, I do.
There's
yeah.
not a lot that I've tried that compare to this. So I'm going to go with the 3, and to make you happy, 7.5.
3.75. Okay, that brings me up. I think I really enjoy this a lot, and just like has been typical lately, I'm right matching Big G with the
Amen,
same
brother.
score there at 3.8.
Not a-
Getting up there, it's something that I certainly, if I see it in the store,
3.80.
I'll grab it. Yeah, it's just 3.80. Sorry, I meant to forget because the decimal place is important. Steven, what do you say?
I appreciate the fact that everybody enjoyed it too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a big.
With all the
big
different palates.
point. Exactly. That's a big thing.
Sure.
If I saw it, I'd get it. I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. So I'm going to probably score this at 3.257.
3 thousands. Come on.
2,
Come on, thousands place. Who are you kidding?
Come on, man.
3 1/4.
2.57?
3 1/4. Yeah, it was just.
3.25.
Well, you liked
I
it a
was
little
just being-
more than I did, but
Oh,
no,
that
I
Karen,
was
that,
just being a
that
little
rounds
bit
to
of
3.26.
All right,
It does
what's,
round, yes.
What's Zach Alicious got up there on the? What do you got there, brother?
Yeah, I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it, but knee-jerk reaction, it's definitely good. I don't think it's exactly my type of
And you
rye.
are a rye guy. Let's
I
just,
know.
yeah.
It's not exactly my type of rye. It's a little bit coarse, a little bit oaky for me, but at the same time, it's very enjoyable. I'll go with a 3.39.
3.39. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right.
It is a rye, and it's got that dryness, the wood, dry wood. You know,
Yeah.
What
Very.
I'm
dry.
very, I love the oaks and the double oaks but I do prefer a little sweeter.
Gotcha. I think so.
And I have to say, for my score, I'm not a rye guy.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I'll drink it,
So-
but it's probably out of, all the whiskeys, it's probably lowest
and-
on my
And
level.
ryes are here to here in different flavors and ethanol and everything else. Some are
Right.
drinks so hot and you can't get a grip on what you're tasting and then there's other ones that are and I have a lot of great ryes. that
Some
are-
of the
before-
ryes
do,
are
and
the
I
sweetest
compare-
I've ever
I
had.
But
kind of
for
compare
ryes-
them for me, a lot of them to the Michter's single barrel.
Right.
That's just one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Before rye, it's better than average.
Yes,
For
yes,
sure.
it's-
For sure.
very good.
Absolutely.
I like that it's to the authentic style.
Sure.
That
I love
kind
the
of
story too.
takes us
Story.
back to the Whiskey Rebellion and all
Sure.
that stuff. So
And I lived in PA. Never heard of that.
yeah.
Yeah. So I just went back to last year. We did the Clover,
Yes, right.
Ah, that's right.
which was one of the sweeter
Yeah, it was.
ryes, and we all gave it. Greg, you had a 4.1. Doug, you had a 4.1. Again, you guys are like simpatico.
And guess what? I have a bottle on my bar. So
No way.
true to the scoring system.
And I gave it a 4.5. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we all like our ryes. But this is definitely a more dry, grassy
Sure.
rye. Not
Yeah.
as sweet as what I've had in the past.
I've come to love my bourbons. You guys know about my primary love for Scotch, but I think my second category is rye. I do like them.
Scotch and rye.
Yeah,
Me too.
those are
I
my
am
1, 2,
right
and
there
then-
with you, son.
Not that I don't like bourbons, particularly a lot of the ones we've done on the show. So, okay.
All right.
So what next is
Unfortunately, Larry missed out.
That's it.
Looking.
yes.
What are you gonna
We've
do?
got a couple of people that are making weird comments out here. I don't know
Okay.
who they are. I can't read it, so I'm sorry I won't say it out loud. But Jennifer Boggs says, yeah, double oaks are amazing, and she totally agrees on the rise with what we're saying.
Yes, there's Kuzvar Altwich sings. He
We
says
got,
Vergergo.
We got
So
I know, at least you tried. And
I
there's another one up here, too, that said pretty much the same thing. Where was that
that's
one?
maybe that's Pat trying. I don't know, but
Somebody fell on their keyboard. VUR Life is another one that we got.
Okay,
over here.
well.
So, yay, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Rich
it.
we
is
do
on the scroll,
appreciate
too. Rich is
everybody
watching.
watching.
Rich who?
Rich is on the scroll too.
I didn't see him out
No,
here.
he's not on the scroll. He's watching from
Watch, and I know we got a few folks watching. Like I said, that
Yeah, we got
don't
some people don't.
comment, but and we
That's
appreciate
okay.
Devo.
we appreciate you all, whether
G-Money.
you comment or not. We're happy that you're here, and we're happy that you're viewing. Hopefully, you're enjoying what we do. And
All right.
to that point, I guess it's time
Let's-
for the Whiskey Wizard.
Let's get it.
And this is a little bit of a product review, but anyway, it's self-explanatory. We'll see you in a little bit.
Be right back, kids.
Whiskey Wizard. It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. So I wanted to do something a little different this week by doing a product review. And as we've said in the past on the Whiskey Roundtable, we think that we should check out and discuss any new interesting whiskey-related products that we come across. So, tonight I'm talking about Old Limestone Mixing Water. That's right, we're reviewing water. But it's not just any water. This is spring water from the heart of bourbon country in Kentucky. The same water that is used in making some of the finest brown spirits on earth. On their website, they tell us you just won't believe how Old Limestone brings out the flavor profile of your favorite bourbon. It claims to be the exact same water master distillers use in Kentucky to add to their own bourbons because it has dissolved calcium and magnesium in it, which brings forward the nuances of any bourbon without any iron, which would turn a bourbon mash black and, well, be much less desirable. But it's even more than that. They claim that limestone filtered spring water is good with anything made from water. They say we make our coffee from old limestone and our iced teas too. They just taste fuller and richer, just like our favorite whiskey. They go on to say, try a bottle today. Old limestone. Limestone filtered spring water, bottled at the source in Wilmore, Kentucky, and shipped to our friends nationwide. Now, it is definitely true that natural waters emanating from or running through limestone gets filtered of unwanted organics while seeming to pick up just the right amount of calcium, magnesium, and other healthy minerals that enhance taste. That, as we discussed on our past episode on water and whiskey, helps to bring the desirable qualities of the whiskey to the fore. It is a fortunate circumstance of geology that during the Jurassic and Cretaceous epochs, a shallow inland sea occupied most of what is now Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. Shallow seas are great at growing corals and other hard-shelled organisms that leave behind their remnants on the ocean floor to later become limestone. Here's a brief topical excerpt on Kentucky water that I posted back in 2020. Hi, Doug Dunbar for the Whiskey Roundtable. We're here inside Mammoth Caves in the great state of Kentucky. This thick kinds of deposit of limestone is really perfect for making large caves. The other thing it's perfect for is filtering water. And it's because of this limestone karst topography that you have such great pure water for making whiskey. Also, limestone, the water that filters through this type of topography, also picks up nutrients and salts that are perfect for helping the yeast to grow when we put that water in the mash. Now, a friend of the show, Jen Boggs, gave me this bottle of old limestone mixing water when Shauna and I were visiting her in Findlay, Ohio back in October of 2021. So thanks, Jen. Looking forward to trying this out. Okay, so I have this bottle of Peerless Small Batch, which is somewhere around 110 proof. In my experience, it can do with a little addition of some cold spring water, or in the warmer months, an ice cube. So what I'm going to do now is a blind trial to try 3 samples. One with a 2 milliliter splash of tap water, one with an equal amount of standard bottled spring water, and one with the old limestone mixing water. Okay, let's see what happens. So right here, Shauna is mixing it up. As you can see, she's going to take 2 mLs of each of the different waters and place them in these glasses with an equal amount of Peerless whiskey. And now she's going to mix them up, so I don't know which is which, and then we'll give this a taste test. Okay, now Shauna has placed these here in front of me. I have no idea which is which, right, Shauna?
Correct.
She totally did it in the kitchen, and I've been sitting in here, so, well, this is my regular whiskey, so we'll just get that out of the way for now. Okay, so I have these 3. And one again is tap water. One has the like an Avion regular spring water, and then one has the old limestone mixing water. So it's asking a lot perhaps, but I'm gonna try each one of these and just to see if I can if I can find any difference or preference here. So I'll go from left to right, we'll just see what happens. It's been 2 milliliters of each, right? Whiskey already has a different. Okay, this whiskey's at 110 proof. It's still got a lot of spunk. So, number 2, the middle. Now there's something a little smoother there, and I know I don't want to bias it because it's my second sipper, so. It definitely feels perhaps a little smoother. I get a little more of the caramel profile out of that, I feel, than I did on the first one. Again, could be totally in my head. I know this is a pretty tough challenge, but we'll see how this goes. So now for the third and final whiskey with the third and final water dilution. Well, it is pretty tough. You know, I do know certainly dilution as compared to the straight pour. But if I have to pick, and I have to guess, I would say I think that the middle one is the old limestone. And I feel like this one, or is there something about it that was telling me this is the tap water, and if I would guess this is the Avion. So, okay, well, let's see how I did.
So there's a number on the bottom of each one.
Okay.
So this one is number 2.
Number 2, okay.
Kentucky.
This is the Kentucky.
This one is number 1. That's the spring water.
Okay.
And that one
The
is
tap water, which I guessed. So I got the tap water one right. I could taste a little more off taste in that one.
Yep.
But I have to say that these were very close. So one thing for sure is definitely don't use tap water. I could tell there was, I could just get some of that off flavor there. And that probably is some of the halides, chlorine, etc. that you have in tap water. Now, as far as these two, I don't really know. I would definitely use a spring water at least, but this, I think certainly the novelty of, if you have a choice, I think I'd want to put some limestone water right from Kentucky. I think that's just a nice touch that your friends would appreciate if you were sitting around having a dram and you have to put some of the old limestone water on the table. I think it's probably just a nice thing. So look, water does make a difference. So if you're having a bourbon or a rye, you may want to keep it as pure as possible. You may want to consider old limestone if you're adding a splash to your pour. After all, you're only using the very source of water that made Kentucky and other nearby regions so advantageous for the making of fine whiskey in the first place. Plus, I imagine your friends will think it a nice touch, as I said. So just Google old limestone mixing water and you'll find multiple places to purchase it. 4-liter bottles runs you about $19, so not exactly cheap, I guess. Okay, hopefully that whets your appetite for other ways to enhance your whiskey drinking experience. So for now, this is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard for the Whiskey Round Table. Cheers, Langeva, and now back to the live show.
So I don't know what intrigued me most. The story or the fact that you had that light and the Cure shirt on at the same
Just
time?
serendipity, that's all I can say.
I like the hat.
The Cure! Yes!
That's right.
I'm sorry.
Showing your
Yeah.
age. Showing your age.
Friday, I'm in love. There we go.
That's right, man. The 80s were the best.
Yes.
Preach it.
So, I didn't pick out the old limestone versus Avion, but it was easy to pick out the rank tap water influence in the whiskey. But I still think, yeah, what a great product. I mean, it is real Kentucky limestone spring water. So
Nice.
hey, if I got 3 other bottles of that, so if I'm going to ever add water to any of my American whiskeys, that's what I'm going to use.
So, and as you were doing that, you gave us all the idea to add water to the dad's hat. And you guys said that it really changed the profile. So, Rob, you said you really pulled the cinnamon out of there.
Yeah.
Me too. The bald guys did.
Yeah.
Once you put the
With
water
the water.
in it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really hit it hard with
The ones that know what's going on here at the table
Although
there.
Greg did not find the same.
It completely destroyed the drink.
You think
You
so?
didn't like it. Zach, you didn't like the water.
Zach, same thing.
I
Said
didn't
he
like it either.
made it
flattened
flat.
it out, I
It
think.
really did. It flattened
Yeah, I
it
was
out.
kind of like,
I did not like it.
I got a better nose on it, but then the taste wasn't quite as good as I had with neat.
And
first.
we just use regular bottled water, nothing fancy.
Yes.
Just regular.
But I
bottled
would
water.
tell it definitely flatter.
Yeah.
But you're able to take out a little more of the other flavors.
I said
Agreed.
it tasted more like wet grass than, than
Yeah.
dry grass.
All right, kids.
All right. Well, I guess it's
wrap it up.
kind of time to wrap it up.
So I will just say I'm quickly
Yeah.
looking at the scroll, and Lauren joined
Yes.
us, and she is mesmerized by your Cure shirt as well in the
Yeah.
Whiskey Wizard. So
We love it.
that's right. Jennifer Boggs says
It's
it's
Friday,
Friday.
I'm
I'm
in
in love.
So, Lauren, you joined us late. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully, when we sign off, you can watch from the beginning. And looking forward to us all being in Las Vegas next weekend. So,
That's right.
So
Lots-
she can go back. Jennifer, she'll
lots
agree
of
with
fun.
everything I
So
had to say.
that leads into our closing, and of course, that means that obviously we're not having a show next weekend. But
That's
we
right. We're off.
will be back on March 11th with our
Irish
next
Whiskey
episode,
Month.
which will be right deep into Irish Whiskey
Irish
Month
whiskey.
already.
Invite me back.
So March will be Irish
Well,
Whiskey
we'll
Month.
talk about that.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe I'll bring Larry.
No, that's a
I
good
don't know
point.
how many bald guys we can have at the table.
Larry's not bald. He's almost bald. He's baldish, but you wouldn't know it. Don't say it. Shh. Larry, you didn't
Do
hear
we have
that.
any closing quotes?
Well, first of all, thanks to our guests,
Yes,
Rob
thank you guys.
and Steven.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your input and great show, and thanks for being here.
I'm gonna start calling you my mother because my mother calls me Steven.
That's
call you
how I was
Mom.
introduced. So I start till you tell me no. Call me Steve.
Steve or Steven are
We have
fine. I'm
something
just
in
busting
common.
your chops.
Okay.
Your mother called you Steven?
Actually, my whole family calls me Steven. They're the only ones that do it. I don't mind it, but it's kind of like it's kind of funny. It makes me chuckle.
My mother called me asshole my whole life.
Well,
But anyway,
I thought his name was Dick before he...
he might look like one, but
No,
he's
no.
no dick.
My official name is Richard Cranium.
Oh. Boom, boom.
But
All right, kids.
All right. Okay, so we want to
Walk
thank
us
you
up.
all for watching. If you're here with us live or watching us later, remember, if you do miss a live show, please do tune in. All of our shows are posted after they air live, and so it's your views that help keep this show running. So please do watch, even if you don't make it live. As we said, our next show will be March 11th. We'll be off next week. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on Facebook. So for our closing quote, since it's President's Day week, this quote is from Abraham Lincoln. And as some of you may know, he didn't have the best relationship with Grant. And so here's his quote. He says, "Tell me what type of whiskey it is that Grant drinks. I would like to send a barrel to my other generals."
All right, kids.
He gave him the Big Steve.
There you go. No, that's the Big Larry.
Big
Oh,
Larry.
Larry, yeah, that too. You're Steve. That's okay.
All right, kids. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and be safe out there. And thanks for watching and hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the
11th of March.
On the 11th. So till then, we are the Whiskey Roundtable. Big G.
Rob Richter.
Karen Helen Gower.
Doug Dunbar.
Steve Leskovic.
All right, kids. We'll catch
Have a
you
good
later.
night, everybody.
Have a good night.
See you next time.
If whiskey stopped working, every bar in town would be closing their doors, shutting down. Everybody would be trapped with their thoughts, 'cause nothing numbs the pain like bourbon or scotch. Oh no, oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Beam would be cut off. Hank Williams songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped, oh. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee.